Your date of birth is not important. Your employer does not need or have to know your date of birth. Is not going to help in any way in the recruitment processes. Also, including a photo of you, a photo can serve as bias in the job application process. Are you a registered nurse or are you an overseas trained healthcare professional looking to work in the UK? Your CV is a key to securing your dream job. In this video, I'll walk you through the best CV format for UK healthcare roles, what to include, what to avoid, and tips to make your CV stand out. Your CV forms a major part of our job application. For you to be a successful candidate for the job role that you are applying for, you need to have a very good CV. Your CV has to stand out. A CV is a curriculum vitae and it's a crucial document for job seekers because it summarizes your skills, your experiences, your achievements, and it also allows potential employers to quickly assess your suitability for the role that you are looking for and also to make a positive first impression. Why a well-crafted CV is very important. It's about your first impression. Your CV is often the first piece of information that your potential employer sees about you. It is so essential to make a very good impression about you. So you have to craft a very good CV. It highlights your skills and your expertise. A CV provides a concise overview of your professional history, education and skills, and also it shows your qualification. Your CV serves as a screening tool. Recruiters use CVs to quickly filter through a large number of applications. So a well-organized CV is relevant and it also increases your chances of being shortlisted for interview. It demonstrates professionalism. A well-written CV, that is a referee CV, demonstrates attention to details and professionalism, which can certainly affect or influence potential employers' perception about you. So the CV also serves as foundation for your interview. If an employer sees your CV and goes through and they have to make a decision on employing you and giving you the job, it is your CV that will sell you out. The employer will not see you in person before giving the job to you. Before the employer sees you, your CV that will give your first impression. So it is in the interview that you have the opportunity to discuss further the skills and the experiences that you have into more details. Many companies use applicant tracking system that is to screen CVs. So a well-formatted CV that includes relevant keywords can improve your chances of passing through this system. If your CV doesn't have the keywords that are in the job description, there's no way that your CV is going to pass through this tracking system, that is the ATS. So you need to have such a good CV in order to pass through that system. This is how a CV should look like. CV format overview. CV have different aspects. We have different segments of the CV. We have the first part, personal details, professional profile, key skills, work experience, education and qualifications, professional registrations, additional trainings and certificate that you've gotten, references. The UK healthcare CV should be clear, should be professional and concise, no longer than 2 pages. This is how the format should look like, the ideal format of a CV. Employers don't have much time to go through your CVs to read all that you've provided on your CV. So at least it should be clear and concise. You have to go straight to the point of what you are talking about. You should not make it very long. If you have at least a year or 2 years of experience, at least having a page or two of your CV should be enough. If you have more than 5 years or 10 years of working experience, then you can extend it to at least 3 pages. So when you are applying for jobs in the UK, ideally, most of the jobs application would expect you to write your CV in British English. So try to put it in British English, which the employers can relate more to it. United Kingdom, CV is called curriculum vitae. Normally, resumes are not used there. We normally call them CV. So when you are naming the file, you can name it by your name, maybe Anthony CV. United Kingdom, when they are writing dates are written with the day and the month. Writing your CV and you want to put any date on, you try to write it a day and a month before the year. So your CV should all be on one page, as in should be in a from up descending downwards, because other people have CVs that divided into columns and they have some in the left and in the right. Employers find it very difficult to navigate and read these CVs. They have to be reading in a zigzag way, moving from left to right, but your CV should be kept simple. It should be clear and be concise as well. It should be easily to read. So when it's from up and down, it makes the flow very easy for the employer to easily scan through your CV to know whatever they are looking for. We are moving to the personal details. So what should be included in the personal details? In the personal details of your CV, you have to include information like your name, your address, where you are living. If you are living in maybe the United Kingdom and you want to provide your address, you can ignore your house number. You can just mention the street name, maybe Fremantle Close, then you add the name of the town to it, then you add the postcode to it. That is very ideal because the employer should not know all your information by knowing your house number, your street, and your postcode and everything. Providing your street and address is very important. It helps the employer to know if you are really suitable for the role. If you are living in the area, if they want somebody that can easily commute to the place, I think providing your address is very important. You provide your phone number so that you can easily be contacted on, and also you provide your email address so that your employer can reach out to you. Your email address should not be a fancy email address. It should be an email address that at least looks professional. So having your first and last name joined together with a Gmail account or a yahoo.com account, it's very professional and it's very acceptable when you do it that way. Professional profile. This is a short paragraph that summarizes your skills, your experiences, and what makes you a great candidate. So in this aspect of the CV, you are to write a short paragraph. At least 4 or 5 lines should be enough. And this paragraph, you should summarize your experiences, the skills, and what you think makes you a great candidate for the role that you're applying for. So in a nutshell, you can mention like the years of experience that you have in the role that you're applying for, the skills that you have gathered over the year, some places that you have worked, and also you have to sell yourself out to tell them why you are a great candidate for that job. Any skill that you have, you can summarize all those things in a 5-line paragraph, which the employer can easily read and get to know what you have to offer. Then we'll be moving to the key skills. With the key skills, some people like to put their key skills first. Others also want to put it at the bottom of the CV, but you can bring it after your professional profile. If you're applying for a role of a carer, you have to get some certain key skills, which is patient care, maybe a good listener, a good team player. All those ones are generic, but at least you have to have some skills that makes you stand out. You have to read the job description, the job that you are applying for, person specification. They always put the skills that they want from the person. So you go to the job website, you get a form, then you look at the skills that they are looking for. If you have those skills, then you write those skills on your CV. And those skills will make you stand out. It will make your CV unique so that you'll be eligible and potential candidate to be interviewed. We are moving to the other aspect of our CV, which is your work experience. So work experience, you start with your most recent job. That is, you include your job title, your employer's name, the location, and the date that you were there. Start with, for example, you're working in Cape Coast Teaching Hospital. Then that is your employer's name. You talk about your role. You were there as a healthcare assistant. Then on the right side, you talk about the date that you were there. You worked from June 2021 to maybe June 2022. That is the period of time that you worked in that hospital. Then also after writing that, you move down and you make them in a bullet point. That is the key responsibilities, the things that you were able to do in the hospital, your achievement and your responsibilities. So it should not be your duties, but what you were supposed to do, what you did, the things that you were able to achieve in the hospital. Employers always want results. So you state it like you were a good team player, which you help the world move from maybe a good review to an excellent review because of your support in the team. You make it a way that you were a part of the team and you state what you were able to achieve with the team that you were with. Maybe you say you were a good team player. What did you do? You were a good team player on the ward, which you help the staff to decrease the mortality rate on the ward, which is very good point to be on your CV. So you state it in a way that it starts from your actions and the results that it turned into. You can include some percentage in, maybe because of your skills and your abilities, you were able to collaborate with the team to increase the number of admissions that you have on the hospitals or the patients turn out in the hospital. It's very important to put this on your CV. The next thing that you have to put on your CV is your education and qualifications. Mention the highest qualification that you have. So if you have a bachelor's degree, you mention it, you state the date that you achieved that, also add the name of the school that you have the qualification from. Then you move back to your secondary school and also you write the qualification that you have. So it's just from your latest qualification to the previous ones that you've already had them. So when you are submitting this CV, also if your school or the qualification that you had is not equivalent to that of the United Kingdom, it is appropriate to translate it to its educational system so that the employer will easily understand where you are coming from. The educational system and the grading system in the UK, it can be different from those in other parts of the world. So moving on, the system that you can do on your CV is your professional registration. All right, so this is applicable if you have your NMC pin or you are registered with anybody. So you have your nurse and midwifery pin. and other related registrations, you can add them onto it. With the medical and dental council as well, you can put this professional registration on. It also sells you out. It makes the employer knows that you have these relevant experiences or you have these relevant qualifications. Moving to the next stage, that is you put additional training and certification. That is, you list any relevant courses like basic life support, manual handling training. In fact, any training that you have done in the United Kingdom or back in your country, you include these trainings on your CVs to make you sell out, going to make your CV stand out, because your employer would like to know the qualifications that you have, the trainings that you have already received, and the certification that you've gotten. So the final thing that you have to include on your CV is your references. So you mentioned available upon request, unless specifically asked to include their contact details. We have this data protection and the GDPR. You can't submit somebody's details, your manager's details, to anyone that you are applying for job with. Any employer that you want to work with, you want to submit your CV, you will be sending your manager's details and emails and their phone numbers to them. No, it is not acceptable. So if they want your references during your job application submission, you add that to them. But if they don't call for it, you just leave that space blank. You can say available upon request. If you realize you don't have any space to on your CV, you can also leave it out. It's not going to take anything out of your CV. Yeah. So I will be leaving in the description of this video a template of a CV that you can look at it to create your own CV. And then it's going to serve as a guide to help you to write your own CV, so that a employer will see your CV and offer you a job interview. And I know finally you'll be able to secure the job that you are looking for. Now we are moving to what to include and what to avoid in your CV. So the do's and the don'ts on your CV. To include a keyword from the job description, to include keywords from the job advertisement that they have placed. Examples of those keywords can be implemented, some can be managed, some can be delivered, facilitated in the job advertisement. So you look for those potential keywords, then include those keywords in your CV. When you include these keywords in your CV, it will make your CV stand out and also pass the applicant's tracking system. If these keywords are not found on your CV, there's no way your CV is going to pass it, and your CV is going to be thrown somewhere else. So this system, this software first receives the emails or receive your CV, then it quickly scan through, then instantly to give you a feedback. So if you have sent any job application and if you realize after submitting your CV and your document within 5 to 10 minutes, or send you an email to tell you, unfortunately, you were not successful for this role, it means the applicant tracking system that scanned through your CV and realized you don't have the needed keywords on your CV. So it means you don't qualify for the job. But it can be like you qualify for the role that you've applied for, but because you did not include those keywords, the system could not detect them. Your CV was automatically disqualified. Include a measurable achievement. Example, reduce patient wait time by 20%. So in this, you have to try and inculcate things that are measurable, things that you can measure on your CV. It's very important to put those values, those percentages on your CV. It means the employer knows that this is what you're able to do and this is what you're able to achieve and what you're able to attain. So we have to include measurable units on your CV. Now we are going to move to things to avoid. Too much personal information. You have to avoid this on your CV. Your date of birth is not important. Your employer does not need or have to know your date of birth. It's not going to help in any way in the recruitment processes. Also, including a photo of you. A photo can serve as bias in the job application process. Marital status is not important to the employer. Whether you are married or not married, you are single or you are in a relationship, it doesn't matter. It doesn't benefit the employer in any way, so you don't have to include that on your CV. Your nationality is also not important to put on your CV, and also your visa status, whether you are on skilled worker visa, you are tier 2, you are on a student visa, all these informations are not important. Don't include them on your CV. So on a CV, you don't have to use long paragraphs. Long paragraphs are not important. You can use bullet points for readability. If you use bullet points, it makes it very easy for your employer to go through your CV. The font size of your CV should be about at least size 12, because if your font size is very small, it is very difficult for the employer to navigate and read through. Also, talking about font size, we have different types of font styles that we use. Ideally, CVs can be presented in the Calibri and maybe Arial. You can stick to these three groups of font style, because it's very easy to read when you have those font style on your CV. You don't have to make your CV fancy, because we have different kinds of CVs for different purposes. When you are applying for jobs that are in the art industry, maybe you can make your CV attractive and beautiful. But if you're applying for healthcare jobs or having your normal colors, which is maybe a black and white, is ideal for you to use, because using different kinds of font styles and different makes it so unprofessional. It depends on the field that you're applying for. But as we are talking about healthcare sector, into your black and white is very good and ideal for your CV. Final tips: before you send off your CVs, you have to proofread it carefully, or maybe ask a friend, a family member to review it for you. It is to tailor your CV for each job. You don't have to use one CV to apply for all the jobs that you want to apply. Finally, you have to keep it professional and simple. You don't have to use bright colors format. You have to keep your CV very simple, neat, and tidy. Save your CV in a PDF format, unless you are being asked to send your CV in a Word document format, because there are different kinds of operating systems that when you send your CVs in Word format, before they opens the CV on the operating system, your CV Word will just be over everywhere. It will be all over the place, because the systems works the operating system will work differently and its document will be altered. So if you send it in a PDF format, it is the ideal way to do. And if you want to save it, you save it with your name, then you add the CV included. So you can save your CV format like Samsung CV. You save it in that way, the employer would open your email and see that your CV is attached. And whenever they see the file's name, they can easily relate to the file name that is your CV. And also, if you are sending an email to an employer, sometimes if you are applying for jobs, they may ask you to send your email to them. Don't just send your CV just straight away to them. No, you don't have to send your CV straight away to them. You open the email, you attach the file, which is your CV's name, then you write something. The subject, you write application for job as healthcare assistant, or job application as healthcare assistant. Then you write hyphenate, then you write your name, Samuel Samson. Yeah. Then you attach your CV. Then you write something small in the body part of the email, maybe stating, "Hello team, find attached as my requested CV for the job application. Hope to hear back from you soon." At least to write something, kind regards, Samuel Samson. At least doing that would be a bit okay. Trying to introduce yourself to the employer, or trying to state the reason why you are sending the email to them. Because sometimes if you just send an email with the subject not being clear, no email content, it shows that you've just sent a document to them, and it can happen that the employer may not choose to open the file or open the email. So you have to try and be specific. You write a good subject about why you are writing the email. You include some words in the body of the email. Then you send the CV over. No fancy font or graphics, because it depends on where you are going to work. If you are in the graphics field, fine, that is okay. But if you are going to work in the healthcare field, at least keeping your CV simple, it's very important. So that's for today. If you found this very helpful, don't forget to like, subscribe, and comment below with any questions. And also check out my other videos that I have. I'll see you in my next video. Until then, bye.